All right, as we get into the groove here, well, if you haven't heard of Tata, you're definitely missing out on something. She is that sexy, hot princess from Thailand who's been named one of the 25 most influential trendsetters in Asia.
And it's easy to see why. Tata sang the theme song of an Indian film, holds sellout concerts not only in her home country, Thailand, but also in the Philippines and Indonesia, and also films and music videos in Taiwan.
That is right, and in fact, the jet setter was in Singapore recently to promote her second English album called Temperature Rising, and certainly the mercury did go up while she was here.
Well, she joined us in our studios and told us what's new in her latest release.
Definitely the music, because with my last album, it's a pop dance album, but with this one, I'm a hip-hop fan, so I wanted to add a hip-hop influence into the album, so it's a pop, hip-hop, R&B album. And I got to work with many celebrity producers like Diane Warren, Alex Greggs, Adam Anders, and Nikki Hasman.
So some of those producers you mentioned, they're really in the big leagues, shall we say. They work with such artists as like NSYNC and all these other people. How does that make you feel? Does that, especially as far as your new album is concerned?
I feel honored. I mean, it's like a dream come true to be able to work with Diane Warren, because I've listened to her since high school. So to be here today working as an artist and to be able to work with her, meet with her, and do 2 of her songs on my album is like a dream come true.
You got my temperature rising like El Nino. You got my temperature rising like rain, 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 rain. I'm burning up in here. This drum's about to disappear. You got my temperature rising like El Nino. You got my temperature rising like.
So there's that racy element in your music video, Temperature Rising. It really gets the people fired up. It got me a bit fired up.
Until you saw it in person.
Is that the real you? Tell us, who is the person that we see in the music videos and who is the real Tata?
This is more like me. This is more like me. I'm more casual. That is more performance. So I don't dress like that to go on the street or go shopping. So I'm more like this. I'm more casual, and a lot of people imagine like, oh, what would she be wearing to sleep? Would it be like PJs or lingerie? I'm like, definitely PJs. Like this morning, all my colleagues was laughing so hard because I had on like a Pooh Bear kind of PJ, and they're like, that's not like you at all.
Okay, I gotta stop you now. You're spoiling all these dreams that all these men are having, and they're thinking.
But I'm always wondering, with so many young and talented, beautiful artists out there, do you find that you need to get the real racy element in to draw in the crowds? Do you think that's necessary?
No, I don't think it's necessary. But it's like with my music, it's like singing El Nino, but if I sing with a turtleneck on or long sleeves, and it doesn't really suit the song. So it's like you don't really need to be sexy all the time, but sometimes it's what you say or what you do that can be sexy also.
And I have to ask, would you wear Pooh Bear pajamas in a music video?
I don't think it would be El Nino, right?
No, that's all. But because then that way people will say, well, it's the quality of the voice. Do you feel that? No matter how you dress, appropriately in a sense, just kind of suit the mood of that song.
Well, I think it needs to all go together. If you're singing a song that's really nice and hot, you gotta, you gotta dress to suit the song. But then at the same time, I do have a ballad, so let's see what my ballad turns out to be. Maybe I'll dress more conservative.
I read an earlier interview by you, and you said that you didn't want to get into any of the lyric writing in your latest album because you were working with the top pros.
Right.
But why not? Why don't you want to put a little bit of stamp on your album?
Well, really, I think people look at lyrics differently because it's the way you would imagine it. I have my imaginations and the way I look at my music, but it depends on the person. If you're negative with it, then you will be negative with it. I have a positive attitude on my music, so it depends on how people look at my music. So that's why I don't feel like it's necessary for me to explain myself on all the lyrics. But I feel like. I'm just going with the flow, and whatever I'm reading, I have my own imaginations.
Now, people also say, we know that your dad's American, your mom's Thai. Many people feel that your Asianness, this sort of a unique persona that appeals to people. What do you think about that?
I feel like I'm absolutely Asian. A lot of stuff I do is Asian too. I think Asian, but then also my look. A lot of people come to me and say, "You're not actually like Thai, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not Thai. Well, are you?" And they couldn't really pinpoint, but the first thing when people see me, they think of like, oh, she's definitely Asian.
Right.
And you've also been called as the Britney Spears, the next Britney Spears of Asia. And you're already breaking new ground. You're touring in many different countries around Asia. Well, what is the kind of artistic direction and musical direction you want to take?
Well, I hope to be the first Asian to break through the worldwide market. But if it's not me, it doesn't really matter. But I feel like I'm one of the troops that are trying to break through the worldwide market.
Why is it so difficult?
I have no idea. I really don't. But to me, I don't know what it is, but I think all of us Asians should come together and push these artists forward, because there's so many talents out there. Like we were just talking earlier about Rain.
Yeah.
I think like Rain, he's absolutely he's good looking. He's got a talent. Like, come on, he's got to work all over the world, not only in Asia. So it's like, I'm just pushing. That's my direction. I hope to be the first Asian to break through the worldwide market.
And you ever think of collaborating with other artists like Rain?
Yeah, I would love to, actually. So if you're watching.
There you go. That's one up. Asia Week once named you one of the 25 most influential trendsetters in Asia. And then in 2001, you were featured on the cover of Time magazine. And now you're only 25? That's still...
I'm 18. Oh. No, I'm 25, yes. Yes, I'm blessed. I feel so lucky that I've achieved so much in my life, and to be named, the most influential person at the time where I had no clue about anything, and I was like, wow, really? That's pretty cool. I guess it's just from hard working and just being myself.
But from that, people also say you're a role model to many young people, but
Yeah.
you've actually said yourself that you don't really want to be a role model.
No, I don't. I don't feel like I've achieved enough to become a role model, and I still make mistakes, and I feel like someone who's a role model, they should be like a good, it's not that bad, but it's more like, I'm still not ready for that.
So you're saying maybe later in life?
Yeah, maybe later in life, maybe when I've achieved a little more, but to me, it's like, I would tell the people who look up to me, like, hey, good, but just, you always remember to be yourself, and always follow your dreams, and always have faith.
You may not want to be a role model, but it's certainly, I'm sure, legions of girls out there look up to you as what they want to be with. But you've been doing this for many years now, already 9 years. It makes you a bona fide veteran. Tell us, there must be so much work that goes into becoming what you do, what actress, model, come singer. Give us an idea of what happens in an average day for you.
Well,
you sleep a lot, for instance.
I have to. I have to for my voice. So I make sure I sleep a lot. But then you can't be a singer and not look pretty. So you have to look good. Your body needs to look good. And so I have to hit the gym. I have to have a beauty regime every day, and always, trying to maintain all this. So it's not easy. And with all the work, doing interviews and meeting with all the medias and recordings.
Did you know you wanted to be a singer?
Yes, it was so funny. When I was younger, my parents, my dad plays golf, so he would win these trophy, and I would have him, hold this trophy, his golf trophy, and give it to me when I was younger, and I would sing something, and he was a big fan. So it was like, yeah, I know. I never wanted to be like a fireman or other kids, a veterinarian or.
Well, you're heading it on a path that many other artists have gone down before, and unfortunately, many of them have failed. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges you're going to be facing?
I don't tend to look too further ahead, because it does make me get scared and paranoid a little bit, but then to me it's just like I'm just doing my best each day, and hopefully it'll work out for me, and so far so good. So yeah, I'm doing the
And now in today's music, you've got to also have the dance element going on. You can't just sing there like Whitney.
No,
you've got to really move it. You've got to get into the groove. It must be a very difficult regime out there.
It is tough, because like I said, not only you have to maintain your voice, the choreography is very important, and to me it's like I don't get a lot of practice because I have to do a lot of promotional work. So what I do, I have a choreographer who's out in Thailand. She would send me DVDs. So I'd be sitting before I go to bed, and I'd be dreaming about my choreography. It's really wild, but it's true.
Wow.
And yeah, so yeah, you must have a really good memory with, when you're a singer, because there's so much that needs to be going through.
And with all this time you spend on choreography and your music, you probably don't even have time to date.
Time to
A real subtle way of asking.
If I date, I need somebody who completely understands what I do. Yeah.
And do you?
I'm still considering.
Considering the option to date?
I'm still thinking if he is actually the right one.
Ah, okay. So there is someone on the
So
scene.
there is someone, but we've been friends for 10 years. Like we've been really close friends for 10 years, and I'm not in a rush, and I don't think he's in a hurry either. So we're
You
taking
want
it
to?
easy.
I mean, you can just tell us quickly.
Yeah, no one else is listening.
Name is
Just tell-
John or Peter.
No. Even though if I told you his name, you would never know him. He's someone out. He's not in the business, so
Based in Thailand. Bangkok?
he's a businessman.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go.
You guys have more information than anybody else.
We'll keep digging. And so, acting, that's also something you picked up in recent years. How do you find that? How do you like that?
It was fun. It was a great opportunity. My record label actually had a movie company also, so they said, we have a really cool role we want you to read, and then I did a casting on it, and they absolutely loved it because it was a comedy.
Yeah.
I played a nerd turning into a really hot chick later in the movie. So it was quite fun. But then I did my second movie, and that was a complete challenge because I was playing someone who was opposite from the person that I am. She was conservative. She was very quiet. She was, to one point while we were doing this movie, my mother was like, "You're changing. You're becoming this girl in this movie." So yeah, so it's quite fun. It's challenging, but at the same time, it's a tough job because you have to really, really dig into it. So.
Tougher than singing, you think?
Not really. To me, not really, because singing is a lot of acting because you have to do music videos also, and at the same time you have to be, when you do live shows, you have to be able to control the crowd. You have to make sure they're with you and all that.
And do you find that as you try to bring out, to present this whole package, the looks, the dance, the beauty, everything, that you actually sometimes feel it's a disadvantage being Asian as you try to break into the big worldwide market?
No, it's not a disadvantage being an Asian. I'm proud of being Asian, and I think it'll be our turn soon somehow. It will be, and I'm not like, I'm good. I got good spirits.
As perky and cheerful as you are, do you have any down days?
Thank you. You notice.
Yeah.
Of course I have downsides. I'm just a regular girl. I'm human. I cry. I get my heart broken.
What are some of the things that made you cry recently?
You know what? I just cried last week, and it was for no reason. I guess it was the emotional thing women go through. I was out of the blue. I just wanted to cry. Sometimes you feel so tired that you just wanted to cry, and you feel better, and it puts you to sleep. So
do you feel that as successful as you've gotten, and you've certainly come a long way since your early days growing up in Bangkok, Thailand, do you feel that you're running out of people who you can confide in?
No, not really. I find it gets better and better for me. There was downside in my career where I was going through school, and I kind of dropped the singing bit, and then it was kind of like everybody forgotten about me because there were new artists that were just popping up, and to me it was like, it was tough to get myself dragged back on the road. But then now that I'm on the road again, it's just gets better and better and better. So to me, I'm really lucky.
Do you think part of your appeal is the fact that you can speak English fluently? I mean, if you were doing Thai songs, for instance, do you think you would be able to break into the international market quite as easily?
No, definitely not. It's definitely the universal language that's helping me a lot. I speak English fluently, and I can sing. So that's the thing. I guess that's taken me, and thanks to my parents, I believe them. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, well then good luck to all your efforts.
Thank you.